absolute non-negotiable. As an entrepreneur and in life, you are going to hit many walls more times than you will ever be able to count. And you are going to have to pick yourself back up more times than you will ever be able to count too. I think one of the biggest messages in this whole topic of grit is the fact that people you see winning had to find their grit too. There's never been a person who fell down and didn't have to pick themselves back up. Just by really having that non-negotiable in your mindset so that when you're faced with that, you already know that you're going to pick yourself back up before you even crumble. You're already planning on how you could pick up those pieces. I'm Christa Paarni, a very busy mom of 4 boys. I've been with my husband since I was 17 years old, so we have completely grown up together. I've been with Monat for over 5 years, and we have truly been able to build the life of our dreams with our boys by our side every single day through this business. I'm a senior executive director, Maxwell PhD graduate, and in my masterclass, we are going to get really real and really tough about having grit. I think that there are so many opportunities in our lives that could be lessons, and too many people take those lessons and they just allow them to hold them back, set them back, and they just use the word failed. So many people are caught up in these chapters and they keep going back on it and back on it. Instead of allowing it to be something that they learn from, they keep putting themselves back in this failure box. I think ultimately grit is something that removes the word failure and replaces it with a lesson. Let grit be your teacher. What I mean by that is expect yourself to have to use that grit side of you in order to go to the next level in your life. When you have grit, you are expecting these challenges because life is just one big challenge. If you are not going to be willing to let that grit that you have in your life teach you a lesson and push you, you're not going to get to that next chapter, to that next level. It is just not going to happen. When you actually use grit to feed you and fuel you and push you in the direction of where you're going, that is when you really learn. That is when you move on. I think, ultimately, grit is the screen between each lesson, each chapter, each season. Grit is the ability to not allow yourself to give up. In my mind, it's she didn't give up. She has so much grit. She didn't give up. She had the ability to literally courageously get through all the things that would hold 90% of people back. Grit is really, truly allowing things in your mind in full belief that are a setup and not a setback. I think so many people will look at something that's happening and maybe it feels negative. Maybe it feels like, oh, well, yeah, that must be a sign that I'm just not supposed to be doing this. Or that must be a sign that this isn't right. This isn't the right business for me. This isn't the right thing. When you look at something like that, you're actually blocking yourself from the opportunity because you're not able to see that this is a setup. Anything that my team struggles with or goes through, I'm like, you have to go through this because it is the only way that you are going to be able to help someone else get through this in the future. And guess what? There are going to be people going through this in the future. No matter what it is, you're going through it for a reason. And there is literally not one thing that I look back on in my life where I struggled, where I was going through something that I have not been able to use, that I have not been able to help someone else with. So I really think getting through that and going through it sets you up for what's possible. It's just like anything else. The other day I started running a mile. I don't know how long it's been since the last time I did that. I ran track and cross country in high school and in middle school, and as I was running, I was literally dying. I couldn't breathe. I wanted to stop. I wanted to walk, but it's just like anything else. When you push yourself, that end feeling is so fulfilling, and it honestly made me so proud of myself. I think that's a boat that a lot of people miss. They don't even give themselves the chance to make themselves proud because they didn't give themselves the chance to see their own possibility become their full potential. Grit shows you your full potential by not allowing yourself to be caught up in the setback trap because not everyone is going to do this. Not everyone's going to get back up every single time they fall. The setback trap is allowing things that are inevitable in your life and in your business to keep you in this paralyzed place. It's easy to fall back into that trap and be like, it was too hard. I'm not going to do that anymore. I deal with this a lot in my business, especially when people are comparing themselves and they're comparing themselves to this person and that person. And they're like, oh, well, she started after me and she's moving along faster than me. And that's because she didn't get caught in that setback trap. She didn't allow people saying no to affect her. She didn't allow being embarrassed about talking about shampoo to get in her way. I mean, we can use every single angle of this in our life. My son didn't get podium at his last scooter competition. And it's like, okay, well, we can allow that to be a setback, or you can allow that to be a setup for the next competition that you're going to practice even harder and make sure that you do more. It's like that with every single thing you do in your life. How are you going to look at it? Are you going to look at it like a setback, or are you going to look at it like a setup? With this business specifically, you could say, okay, we could do this day by day. We're not building up all this momentum for competition for a certain day. Every single day you can wake up and you can rebuild and you could decide what you are going to allow to affect you. I think that more times than not, people don't realize that every single thing in your life really falls back on that decision. Am I going to allow this to affect me, or am I not going to allow this to affect me? Am I going to allow whatever happens, whatever we're going through, whatever we're facing, whatever fears we're facing, is that going to deter me, or is that going to accelerate me? Is that going to be something that I allow to impact my future, or is that going to be something that doesn't matter? The first step to having grit really boils down to deciding to not let those things affect you. One of the top qualities of having grit is not having expectations from others. You'll catch yourself having expectations and you won't even realize how subconsciously you did until you decide to not have those expectations. Really ask yourself every single time you're disappointed or frustrated or mad about something. Why am I upset about this? Why am I affected by this? Why is this even impacting me? A lot of times it's going to be your ego. You're going to have to really face those things like jealousy and comparison and disappointment. It's the part of your brain you are going to have to fully control and decide to let go of that expectation. Don't expect people to support you or get behind you or join you or all the things. When a new market partner joins my team, I'm preparing them for the grit that they are going to have. I tell every single new team member straight out of the gate, this is going to be hard. This is not going to be easy. This is going to be more rewarding than anything you will ever do in your career, in your business life, because you are going to be helping other people. I would rather have that conversation now and prepare them than have to deal with all the things that are going to come with every single conversation, every single no they're going to get. The more prepared people can be for this, the better, and the more focused they could be. Because at the end of the day, we're going to get it in this business. No one ever hit SED without having someone tell them no, or having someone say it's impossible, or it's not going to happen. When people go out there with this unrealistic expectation of, oh, my best friends are going to support me, or everyone's just going to think this is great, and they're all going to host wine and washes with me, and everyone's going to join my team. Do not expect your best friends to support you. Do not expect your mom to go run and buy from you. Do not expect your husband to jump out of the gates and be excited for you in your next Monat trip. It's not reality. That's not what's going to happen. Some people are very fortunate that one person in their family does, or even a couple end up doing it with them, but it's just not realistic expectations. Even if this does happen for someone, it's not going to happen for everyone on their team. It's like everyone in my life, I expect absolutely nothing from. And then when someone shows up on my doorstep to help, when a family member comes over, when anything, I'm like, oh gosh, thank you so much. My value, my appreciation, and everything is on another level with people because I do not expect anything from anyone except myself. My expectations for myself and what I can control and what I can do is literally how I run my life, and it's my approach with my business. I'm always excited when someone joins my team, but I expect nothing. I'm never discouraged because I have zero expectations from someone else. When you begin with zero expectation, it sets you up to be out of this cycle of disappointment. Then you could be fully engaged. You'll have nothing to lose because you're going to hear a lot of no's. You are going to have a lot of people tell you that they want nothing to do with this business and that they want nothing to do with this product. It's important to get those no's because in this business, it's a numbers game. If you're not getting no's, you're not ever going to get a yes. So I will push someone to get more no's because when they get that one yes, that will fuel them 2 times the amount that they literally just lost. It will refuel them to go get that one yes, and it will fuel them through the next no's. This is what I want people to do. I want them to go for no. Once they get that yes, they have that feeling and they know now. Now they know what else is out there and they will want to have that feeling over and over again. They've already been prepared for the no's. They already expect that. I genuinely feel like this is something that has set me apart from so many other leaders in this company because I am literally preparing them for the things that are inevitably going to happen. It is so easy to get caught up in the noise of what other people think. So many people revolve every single thing in their life around pleasing people around them. One thing I ask my team to do is ask yourself, why do you care what that person thinks? I think we don't consciously do it enough. Why do I care if this person doesn't like what I'm doing? More times than not, that person who is sitting there judging you and not supporting you is going to be in a place in their life that is not where you want to go. They haven't crossed that bridge yet of where you're crossing right now and where you're going in your life. They don't want you to do that, and they don't want you to do that without them. I have this analogy I've used forever, and it's kind of silly. It's kind of a mom thing, but it's called my birthday party analogy. So many times, I'm so guilty of this as well. Many times we invite all these people to this birthday party and then a handful of them don't show up. Well, most of the time what happens is people are caught off guard talking about the 5 people that didn't show up the entire time. I can't believe she didn't come. Oh my gosh, you bought so much stuff. Oh my gosh, this and that. How did she flake so last minute? How rude. Instead of focusing on the people that are actually there. That is the quality of positive versus quantity of negative. You may talk to 19 people who are negative out of 20, but you really only need to focus your energy on that one person who is positive. If I had listened to that noise, almost everything good in my life would actually not be. If I had listened to what other people thought and said and cared about, I would walk into our family dinners and they would literally, half of my family would mock me the second that I would walk in and say, oh, I just saw your post about that shampoo or, whatever it is. And I'm still made fun of about that. I'm like, I have made millions of dollars in commission and you're still making fun of me. Meanwhile, you don't even have a job right now, and that's fine. You have to tune out the noise. Don't allow it. You don't allow the noise because most of the noise is coming from our own mouths. If you're not allowing that noise, then most times people are not going to come to you with it. I mean, I'm the last person that anyone is going to complain to. They know me. They know that I don't, and they know that I'm not going to deal with your complaints either. I will literally tell you what you don't want to hear if you come to me and complain because I will always have that optimistic, positive mindset. And you know what? There's a lot of people out there who don't like it. And that's totally fine because I am focused on the ones who are learning from it and the ones who are going to benefit from that. When you mute the noise, you'll start to catch yourself. You'll start to catch yourself in conversation, venting about something, complaining about something, worrying about this person, or caring about what this person thinks. And all those things, it's literally pointless conversation because it's not pushing you forward. If it's not pushing you forward, it needs to be ignored. When you have grit, you are not going to allow someone's opinion to stop you from getting to that place of educating yourself on those things that are ultimately deep down going to give you the confidence to pursue that in your life. Grit is a decision and resilience is a habit. It is building that muscle through habit. That is what creates resilience. As you're building that resilience, you're also teaching other people how they will build their resilience too. So you go through this really, really rocky time when you're like, oh my gosh, this person's going to fall off. This person's not going to be my friend anymore. This family member is not going to talk to me about this, all the things. But then you get this breathing time where you're like, okay, now I have really taught people how to treat me. I have taught people that I don't want to have negative conversations. I don't want to focus on things that are going wrong in life and other people's flaws and all these different things because I waste no time in my life. You look at so many people in this business who are at a stagnant place and it's like, well, look at the topic of their conversations. You're constantly focusing on what's wrong. It sounds like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. I'm failing at this. I'm failing at that. If I did that every single day, I would be drowning because guess what? There's a lot of crap that I'm not doing. There are a lot of things that I could be like, okay, this could be better. This could have been improved. Whatever it is, it's picking your battles. You have to pick your battles. Okay, this really bothers me, but let me find the positivity in it. I think that ultimately is where a lot of people getting out of that slump begins. Most people are not even aware that they drag themselves down. I am very, very aware when I am not in a positive mindset. I waste zero time on toxicity, negativity, none of which so many people are putting so much time crammed into their life where I have absolutely zero. I focus on what's right and I focus on what's good and I focus on what's positive and making sure that people leave conversations with me feeling empowered, driven, and excited. I always tell my team, if you're not having conversations that make you feel that way when you walk away, then you need to stop talking to that person or change the conversation with yourself. It's the habit of finding the good in every single thing that I can. What are the positive things about this relationship? What are positive things that I could do today? What are positive situations? It's just like any habit you're going to build in your life. You wake up every single morning and you go to your kitchen and you take your pre-probiotics and your greens. You do that over and over again. There are going to be some mornings that you don't want to get up and do it because there are many days where you wake up and think, I'm just like, I suck at everything. My downline hates me. My husband hates me. My kids hate me, everything. Then it's like I have to dive back into the things that make me feel good, that give me confidence in being a mom, and make me feel like the wife and leader I am. All of those things. Building the habit of resilience is flexing the ability to recover quickly and not just sit on how you're feeling. Transform the way that you're feeling by the actions that you're willing to take in turn that are going to feed you and your mindset in a way that you need to be fed. You are going to have prospects who do not agree with it or have something negative to say. I'm not going to allow what they're saying, whether it be negative or whether it be no or whether it be whatever it is, to affect me. Instead, I take action in my mindset. You'll come around, it's coming. No means not right now. When I keep that door open, it's nurturing that relationship in other positive ways. I'm thinking of Ivy, for instance, one of my top leaders on my team. Right now, blowing up the biggest team in Australia, hit SED. She told me no 7 times, you guys. She talked crap about my business. She didn't like it. She thought it was fake, all those things. I kept that door open by nurturing and keeping that relationship, by not focusing on the things that I knew would bring negativity to the surface. Each time you keep that door open, you are building a habit of resilience. When you bring something to the table that is going to help someone when they walk away from your conversation, you are opening that door. Bringing something to the table could mean sharing why you think they would be great at it or educating them on how Monat products could benefit them. Every single time you bring something to the table, you are building confidence, which builds your resilience. A common objection in our business is the stigma around network marketing, because people don't know what they don't know. Anyone who's negative about network marketing truly does not understand network marketing. That was me. My mind was made up. I was so ignorant about this industry. I didn't even take the chance to really look into the fact that it is such a better business model for the field than any other career you could do out there. I mean, you're working in a department store, you're making commissions. You're an ambassador for a company, you're making commissions. You sell real estate, you're making commissions. Whoever is above you is making more than you, and this person and that person. How I look at network marketing today is a way to monetize the things that you're already doing in your life. If you partner with a company that you love, the products that you're already using, you're literally monetizing doing the things that you're already doing, and you're sharing the things that you already love. I mean, every single person out there is sharing this restaurant or that movie or this product or this perfume or these leggings or these shoes. It's just a way, specifically with money, it's a way to monetize the necessities that we have in our lives and in our households. It is an absolute no-brainer for me. I did a little question box on my Instagram one time asking, what's holding people back from joining this business with me? A girl wrote me and said, because it's an MLM. So I went to her profile to kind of scope out what she was doing. What is she doing on social media? Now, when I went to this girl's Instagram, she was actually an ambassador for a company. When she shares products, she could give her network a 10% off code for their order, and that transaction is the extent of what she can offer her customer to earn commissions from. In the network marketing model, she could be building a long-term sustainable business if she were a market partner. When she shares money, she would have more to offer her network and more ways to earn. In our business model, she could save her customer money on product through our VIP program and also present her customer the opportunity to earn commissions, trips, and payments towards a car by participating in the Monat affiliate program or enrolling as a market partner. The network marketing model is built for sustainable growth as you are building customers for life. So I voice memoed her and I said, look, I see you're an ambassador. Can I ask you, what would you say is the difference between that and what I am doing with Monat? It took a while for her to answer. I saw her typing multiple times over the next half an hour. She ended up writing me and said, wow, I never thought of it that way. I think that people just ultimately don't know what they don't know. Don't close the door on yourself by being intimidated on what someone else doesn't know. Instead, view it as an opportunity to educate them and continue to have that conversation, asking them, hey, what would you do if you were getting commissions from products that are already in your shower? What would you do if you had your favorite laundry detergent that you can make commissions on and earn trips and earn payments towards a car, etc.? It's our responsibility, instead of being intimidated by that conversation, to educate them on that and really open their eyes, because people literally, I mean, just like me, I had no freaking clue until I learned. Don't just check the box. If you're here to just check a box, you're not going to take anything away. I mean, it's like going to the gym and taking a picture at the gym and not actually working out at the gym. Anyone could go to the gym and take a picture or video. Okay, cool. You posted the video, awesome. But did you actually do the work? Because you're not going to get the results if you're actually not putting in the work. In my business, I could get online and I could talk about my hair products. Okay, check the box. It's done. That's not going to get me the results in my business though, unless I am doing all the work that goes along with it. You have to be intentional. I think more people need to get in the habit of treating this business the exact same way they would either a brick and mortar or an online shop or something. Then they would consider this a real business, because it is very real. This business is way more real than any other business out there. It's hard. You have to work at it, and it's not something that's just going to be like, oh, poof, it's easy. That's not what happens. This business is something that you have to be extremely intentional about in order for it to have success. I think that something that stalls a lot of people is hanging back with people that don't want to do the footwork. If you're sitting with people who have little or low expectations of themselves, that is where you are going to be sitting on the sidelines. You have to decide that you are going to treat this like a business. You have to decide you are going to have grit and build that resilience. You have to have the grit mentality. When you have the grit mentality, you can let go of the expectations of others because you know what you are truly capable of. As I said in the start of this, the people that you see winning had to find their grit. John Maxwell said, grit helps us get to where we need to go. It's that grit that will get you to the finish line. In my masterclass, I discussed why it was important to get the no's. Now it's time for you to take the action and go for no. I challenge you to go get 100 no's. It all starts with a conversation. So I want you to fill out the number of conversations you are going to have this week in the box on the screen. Remember, a no often means not right now. So bring something to the table that is going to help someone when they walk away from your conversation to open that door. Here's a worksheet to keep track. When you get to your 100 no's, tag me on social media @SalvageSoul. I know you could do this, so go get started now.